Good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, whichever time zone you're in. We would like to welcome you to present to you what the journey of the heart could be like. All of us are very familiar with the heart, through all different kinds of experiences. We all have a relationship with the heart. And here at I Am Heart, which is, I think, the name speaks for it, we created a program that we think is very intricate and brings people to deeper understanding of how the heart works on the physical, emotional, and spiritual level. And we would like to give you some experiences on different levels. So Puran will first do a slideshow. We have about 15 or I think somewhere 10, 15 slides where Puran will give a presentation on what this experience of the heart can be like. And afterward, after the slideshow, we want to give you some time where you can ask questions. So if you have some questions to specific slides, you can make notes, and then we can go really into great particulars about it so that you have an understanding. So the slideshow is more like really getting an understanding of what this work of the heart can be about and what it looks like in an organization of I'm Heart, an organization that exists now for 35 plus years, and where we really made the topic just the heart. And after that, we have actually Surya Angela Talent here with us. She's a graduate of this 2-year program that we're presenting to you today. She's really very glad that Angela came to talk today here about her experience, because she is a very unusual, very incredible person. You will hear this from her experience, and especially for what she all has experienced. It's like, wow. So I'm very glad she's here with you, and she can answer questions too if you feel like to talk to her. And last not least, I will give to you a little meditation experience, what it can be like. So, and you can have questions about that too afterwards if you want to know why we do it this way and not that way. Because we have really, Puran and myself, who are the founders of this organization, we have studied meditation very, very deeply. And we have the feeling we sort of know how this meditation in particular can bring one very much to deep transformational experiences if one desires so. Or one can just, throughout the whole time of the experience, one can just focus on physical heart health or emotional heart health. So that can work too. But let's start because, yeah, I think we can have a very good time together. Thank you for showing up here with us.
All right. This will be a brief, perhaps, slideshow. You can control through your Zoom controls there. You can control how much of the slide you want to see and how much of me you want to see. You can slide this little thing back and forth. Okay. Well, this is an overall picture of a journey, and it's clear that it's not a straight line. Isn't that interesting? This journey from where you are to where you want to go has lots of twists and turns in it. And we value those. We value both the rising and the falling, and the turning and the rotating of this journey. So you're here because I think you received this call to go deeper. Some of you have meditated before, and that's not a prerequisite, but that's often the case. We have people in our school that have meditated before they met us for 30 years. And we offered something deeper. So we're looking for more than relaxation and relief. we say that most meditations do promote that benefit, but we say no, meditation in the heart is not so much a relief from life, it's a rehearsal for life. This is the place you go when you want to rehearse how you want to be in the world, how you can be. If your energy is different, with a focus on your heart, you can behave differently. Your actions come from a different place. When the heart is directing the show, you don't have to worry about ego. The ego is a product of the mind. The heart is natural. It just operates. It is fluid. It's dynamic. So these inner signals I think one of the ones we've seen a lot is people say that there must be more to life than this. We've had some very successful people join our school. We've had some people that are just starting out their lives, but there's always, I think, one thing they share is the sense that I want more out of life than what I've experienced so far. I need a tool that takes me into a further dimension of life.
Quran, one can only see the slide, at least on my vision. I see of you just a small slide like of everybody else. I'm not sure if that's what you intend.
Really? Now, on the top of your screen, you might have two different tabs. One tab says meeting, the other side says slide.
I see.
Um,
Okay, and now I see you very big and no
good.
slide.
And just me and no slide. That's not good.
Mhm.
All right. The other the other tab then is the one you want, I guess. Let me see if I can stop and restart the slideshow, and maybe we can do this better.
Because I think that's what you wanted. You wanted to see partially you and partially the slide, right?
Yeah, that'd be good. Let's see if we can
Mhm.
do that.
Actually,
How's that
that's
about?
That's
what I
it.
was seeing.
That's
Okay.
good now, yeah.
Okay. All right. So heart rhythm meditation does do relaxation, by the way. It's something that we call profound relaxation because just sitting still doesn't produce relaxation. There's a deeper level than just stillness and quiet. We talk about the different layers that the heart has. Here's a nice picture of area in Arizona where there's stratified rock. The heart is like that. It has a layer that everybody's familiar with, what we call the top of the heart, the surface of the heart. It's the part that's easily available to us. Actually, it's a lot like the mind. We call the surface of the heart the mind. We call the depth of the mind the heart. This is one faculty, one facility that is stratified, and in its depth, there is the part where you are the most real. And in the surface of the heart, there's the part that is the most affected by outer circumstances. It's kind of like a picture of an ocean where the surface might be very wavy because of the wind, but in the depth there's a different current and a different reality. So we're going to show you how to navigate these levels of your heart so that you can go into the depths of your emotion. But uh, well, why don't people do that? Because it's unfamiliar territory and sometimes scary. But you can explore the heart with the confidence that you are taking a light with you. The light that you bring to this exploration illuminates the landscape and the depth. So no, we can overcome, let's say, not only our resistance but even our fears. This is a very exciting part of the work is to just find how deep you are as a being, how there are layers of yourself that are only available unconsciously most of the time, but you can find a way with the tools that we have to make the depth of the heart conscious. And the height of the heart, of course, is ecstatic, beyond joy, beyond happy. And it's these two polarities that we want them both. We don't want to just live in a little space in the middle, a little bit of emotion, a little bit. We want to broaden the spectrum of emotion and have the whole thing. Now, there's some of the layers of the heart are, of course, there's a physical heart. And this is very important. And we're going to actually improve the physical operation of your heart by making it more rhythmic, which we can do by breath work. When you make the breath rhythmic, the heart becomes rhythmic. So we'll actually measure a parameter of the heart called heart rate variability. We have instruments for that. And you'll see on the computer screens in front of you what change you can produce in this physical measure of health and well-being and stress resilience. The gold standard for stress resilience is called vagal tone. And we're going to improve that a lot. Then there's the emotional heart. And well, this is, of course, incredibly important to us. I talked about the spectrum of emotion. We need all that. And the intuitive heart is the part of the heart that is less conscious normally. But with the kind of meditation we're doing, you will find intuitive signals bubbling up out of the depth of your heart and producing not only inspiration, but guidance. So, because decision making is one of the hardest things human beings do. But inside you have in your heart, you have a guidance engine, something that knows the way. Follow your heart, we say. One of our books had that title. And there's a spiritual heart. Now, in the old methods of spirituality, and always forever, the goal has been to know thyself, know thyself. And in the old method, this meant withdrawing from the world because the world was seen as a distraction, as an illusion, a Maya. And you go to the monastery, you go to the caves, you go to the mountains, you go to the desert. This is not our way. Our way is to engage yourself in life and let life work on you. Find the way you respond to life, the way you're inspired by. What are you inspired by? What makes you cry? What makes you laugh? How much of those things are you doing? You know, where's the the power of your heart produces courage, confidence, creativity, cooperation. So we have found, and this is, of course, it's not something we're making up, but the mystics over time have realized that you can find yourself, your true self, instead of looking in the heavens, in the abstract, transcendent world, you can find yourself in your heart. It's a reflection of the soul, but it's so accessible. Well, this is something we're going to be working with a lot. Here's that nice picture again of the journey. These are some of the sort of outstanding steps. There are others. Important thing is that we understand there is a journey, and we have mapped the journey, not we ourselves, but throughout time. The mystics have developed many versions of the map. One of our books is about the map, the book called Follow Your Heart. It's the map of adult development. And it doesn't stop at, integration or self-sufficiency, no, it goes all the way through um, enlightenment to illumination. a further stage. Even the Buddhists understand that there are further steps, and they talk about 2 steps beyond enlightenment. So this is part of this path. Everybody's on this path somewhere. And our job is to help you take more steps. The fact that we have it mapped out is very helpful, because when we understand, we will come to understand where you are on the path and what is your next step. There's always a next step. We're very hopeful about that, always hopeful, grateful. These are some of the tools we'll be using. There are, we use sound, for instance. Self-produced, vocalized sound is very helpful. With sound, you can vibrate energy centers in your body, stimulating them, bringing them alive. Breath and rhythm, of course, is the essence, is the standard, the foundation. We're going to create a rhythm in your nervous system by making your breath rhythmic. In our meditation, we don't just watch the breath, we operate the breath, we control it, we tune it. We create an optimum breath, which has been established because we can now measure these things. By your breath, you change the pH of your bloodstream. Many other things, hormone levels. So much can be regulated by the way you breathe. Now, normally we breathe unconsciously, so we don't have any of that regulation. We don't have any of that self-control. But when you learn how breath can change the physiology of your body, then you'll appreciate that you can tune yourself, your energy levels, the amount of energy you have to work with and also to feel with. Energy is emotion. We have a series of archetypes that we'll explain. It's important in running a school to know what kind of person you are. There's actually 2 things that are very important in teaching over time. The first is to know what kind of person we're working with, because there are different kinds of people. And generally, a school is built around a particular kind of person, an intellectual person, a devotional person, a very centered, or grounded person, different kinds. And we have because we work with these archetypes system, we can work with 12 different kinds of people. That's really important, because that means you fit in. Your type can be accommodated. You don't have to change to be something else, to be something like something else. You don't have to be a priest, You can be a king. And so this is important. And the second important thing to understand in a school is where are you in the sense of progress on that path? You see, where are you on the path? Because it's the same path for everybody, but the archetypes are different. So we want to understand where you are on the path and what is your archetype. This will become clear to you, actually. It's important to self-assess these things. The offering we have for you is 21 months long. We want you to work with us for an extended period, almost 2 years, because it takes time. I mean, after all, you are the product of decades of life. And if you want to change and go deeper into yourself, it'll take some time to adjust. There's some things you need to learn and some things you need to unlearn. It's the same for everybody. I'm in the same process. I've meditated now for 54 years. I've taught meditation for almost as long. So we have some experience in these things. And I didn't make this up. I had a teacher. Everybody in the school is a student and a teacher. You're a student and a teacher. Everyone is learning and unlearning. So this is how we work. We want to go into a process with you. We're going to support you all the way through that process. So this is not a one-night stand. This is engagement. We want to get to know you. We want you to know us. In the process, not only are there classes, which are great, by the way, nobody teaches this stuff except the mystics. And this is a school of mystics. But in addition to the classes, you have a mentor that will be assigned to you, or you can choose. But we know pretty well, Susanna does this, how to match a mentor with a person. And you meet with your mentor once a month. It's not therapy. You don't need to meet every week. Once a month, you need this kind of mid-course correction. You know, how are you doing? What's not working? What questions do you have? I mean, you can ask questions of the teachers as well. You know, the teachers are very available. We're not using, recorded video here. Your teacher is teaching a course, and you're there live. So there's always opportunity for interaction. But sometimes, we feel it's very important to have a mentor that's with you the whole time, because your teachers will change, just like in any school that the teachers change from course to course. You have 6 courses, 3 a year, so there'll be 6 different pairs or combinations of teachers, but the mentor will always be the same. And this is maybe, well, you can say which is the most valuable, but this is a very valuable part of the process. Somebody gets to know you very deeply and support you. It's very important too, the community that develops among the class. These are not the same kinds of people. You know, we welcome and we're very excited that a typical class will have a combination of very different people, older, younger, successful, not so much, with different interests, different backgrounds, different strengths and weaknesses. And by sharing openly with each other, really encouraging people to be open in their discussions with each other, we learn so much from each other because, as I say, we're all on the same path. And everybody's learning something about that path. And we need to know that. We the people who walk this path, we need to know what each one of you know about your journey through the path, because that illuminates the path itself. So it's very important that we share what's going on with us. What happens in your meditations? How do the meditations relate to your life? What's changing in your life? What challenges do you have that you could apply meditation to? So some of the results, some of the benefits, everybody speaks about it differently because we have different things we're working on. But these are dependable results. You will feel better about yourself, more confident, and that means more courageous, willing to take more risk, safely, not wisely, but not to get stuck. And I hope you not get stuck. We consider people to be a continuation in change. A continuation in change. You're constantly changing and you're remaining the same as well, but let's say deeper. You're finding out more about who you are. And there are parts of yourself, I guarantee you, everybody finds this. There are parts you don't even know exist. And when you unlock those parts, life changes. It's exciting to discover things about yourself that you didn't know. outcomes. You're going to build a toolkit of meditation, not just a single meditation, something standard, like, well, we have a standard piece, but we will develop this over time to be more, rich. I keep adding blocks on top of the basic process. So the basic meditation is what Susanna will probably lead you in here right now. But we'll build, each course builds on top of that. It's a very modular approach. So, the fifth course for the fifth, sixth course, you couldn't do that today, but you can do it when you build up to it. It's beyond challenging. I mean, this is the most difficult thing you'll ever learn to do. I don't say that to scare you. I say that with excitement, because we can lead you through making that happen. And when you realize that you have done something internally very amazing, things you never wouldn't have imagined you could do, your whole life changes. It changes your whole sense of what you can accomplish in the world because of what you've been able to accomplish within yourself. Some people say, I came in anxious, I've left grounded, I understand myself better. The community is an important aspect. I hope that you will meet people that become friends for life. Most of our friends in the school would say that. I've kept in touch with these people. They're people that know me better than anybody else in my life knows me. We don't typically know all the little details of your life, maybe, where you live or what your house looks like, or things that people who know you personally might know, but will know and will help you know about yourself and about us, things that are profound, things that nobody else knows. Our meditation is unique in a sense, although I have to say, we didn't make it up. So it's an old method. This method of heart rhythm meditation originates probably with the Egyptians. We can say that because we see signs of it in the work of the Hierophants of Egypt. But it was written down carefully by the desert fathers of Christianity, the early mystics of Christianity. We know they did this practice because they wrote about it. And it's just continued. It's no longer a Christian exclusive process. It never was, really. It was something that Christian mystics learned from those that already knew it. And they've passed it on, and we've optimized it because now we have instruments to measure the results, the internal results that are discernible to us, but let's say we can make them clear. So we're going to change the heart rate variability. We're going to change the rhythm of your heart and the breath, the rhythm of your nervous system. We're going to expand your capacity to handle stress. We're not going to remove stress. That's impossible. Stress is a growth stimulant. You don't want to remove it. What you want to do is be able to handle it, make use of it, use it as energy. That's what we'll do. It's going to be a real integration into your daily life. This is about your life, and it's not about removing you from life. There'll be a weekend meeting, not weekend, just one day. It's a meeting Saturday morning with your teacher over Zoom. There is an additional meeting some other time in the week with a teacher that is like optional. It's you might like it to refresh, to study further. It's optional. One meeting a week is the main thing. If you can't attend that meeting, it's recorded. You can listen to it later, but it's much better, of course, to be there because then you have the energy of the group and you can also ask questions and participate. Once a month will be a meeting with your mentor. That's about an hour. The meetings Saturday morning are about an hour and a half. Then we want you to practice the meditation during the week. We'd really like you to do it twice a day, morning and evening, 20 minutes. Not everybody does that. Nobody does everything. There's always exceptions. But let's say that's what makes it work well. There are people that don't do that and they just come to the classes. It'd be better if they meditated through the week because that's where it happens. It's easier to do in the class. Very easy to do in the class. Then you take it home and you try it, and it doesn't work quite as well, right? But that's where the work is, so that you can have it for the rest of your life. It becomes yours if you practice and learn how to do it on your own. Okay. The next class starts January 17th. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing would be we have actually two graduates of the IMU program here. We have Surya Angela Talent here and Nuri Bazir. Nuri Bazir, I don't only know that name of yours today. So that's interesting.
It's Deborah.
Deborah, right, Deborah. So, Surya, would you like to speak first? We asked you to be here, and we are very grateful you're here with us to talk about your IMU experience.
Yeah, I was trying to think like what brought me to IMU and why was I attracted to it? And I remember having which by the way, hello everyone I've seen before. Carolyn, I think you're the only one I haven't seen before, and Katharina, but hi. So good to see you here. I'm glad you're here. But the journey was very interesting in that someone had given me a heart rhythm meditation, like not a heart, well, it was heart focused meditation. And I had a spiritual experience. And I went on this little breadcrumb trail and I found I Am Heart because of this breadcrumb trail. It's like, how did I end up here? And why did I know it was important? Like those were, I can't exactly answer why I knew it was important. I just had this feeling inside of me. And at the time when I started IMU, both of my hands were still in braces. I have a neurological disorder called complex regional pain syndrome. And I couldn't walk very far. I had at one point been in a wheelchair, but I had been able to get out and I could walk, a little bit and then sit and a little bit and then sit. And, but I knew to keep following the heart. And I remember talking with Susanna to be interviewed. Like, am I, like, is this gonna work? Is it a good fit? I don't know. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just following this path that felt right. And as I did, like, I mean, I'm telling you, there were some ugly crying moments. There were like, wait, no, that's not possible. There was the meditation. There was looking at what was stopping me, and I started to find courage. And not just courage, but other things started to change. I started walking further. And then, my relationships started getting better. And, my kids were I remember I would ask this question, how am I coming from love? And my relationship with my kids started getting better. And I started to learn about love and what that was. Not love, like there's an interesting deeper sense to love that I didn't understand and I wanted to understand. Um, because I loved my kids, but when you're arguing all the time, what do you do? They don't really understand that you're loving them all the time when it's like that. So I'm proud. I'm really happy to say that now I have relationships with my kids, but and in a relationship with my heart, and that I can trust it. And I couldn't trust it when I started, or I didn't think I could, except I knew that this was important. And you know, it took a while, but then, I walked further, and my hands came out of the braces. And this year I took a trip by myself to Arizona, like all by myself without a caregiver. There's still things I need help with, like cooking and cleaning and stuff, but like I that was not possible. And it was terrifying. I'm going to say this. It was terrifying to change. It was really scary to step into the change. But I knew I had safe people around me, and I knew that I could trust my heart. And when I knew that, it made it still not scary. It was still scary, but it made it a lot easier to go, you know what? Yes, this is scary, and I'm going to do it. And um, that was really cool. I feel like it helped me step into so much that, that was only a little snapshot of my story.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to that. And just, I know that whatever you think you have right now, there is so much more.
Mm.
And so hopefully I get to continue to see those that I know already and meet the ones I don't know already. And thanks for being here. Thanks for following your heart.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Surya. Thank you. That was very well said. I just want to say, when Surya speaks about an interview, when you have an interview with Susanna, it's mainly about that I get to know you to help you to find a mentor, because the mentor relationship is an important one, and we have about 50 different mentors, and most people have a hard time finding a mentor. So what I do, I talk with people, and then I say, I think this would be a good mentor for you, and they try that out. So that's I have wanted to. It's not an interview if you are really fit for this school. If you want to do this school, we support you and help you and try to give you scholarships if you need to. But the interview is not about if it's a fit for you. It's more like how to help you with the mentor relationship. That's what I mainly do. Okay. And here's our dear Nuri Basir, Deborah, to talk about her experience. Thank you, Angela.
I didn't know I was going to be here. I thought it was about something else, but I love you guys so much that I just hang around, So. But anyway, I am you. I have taken so many different things throughout my life, different psychological and spiritual courses. I love to read. I've read many books. Uh, I have, but I can confidently say of everything that I've done for any self growth or self development, I Am You was absolutely the best thing that I ever did for myself in my life. Absolutely, without fail. I would just, bet money on it. It was just really what it did for me is it gave me a kind of cohesion. I felt like I was scattered. I didn't have the ability to, excuse me, I'm just plugging my battery in. I didn't have the ability to take everything that I had been accumulating and have it be coherent inside of me. It was all scattered. I have a lot of air, as you can see, of the element. And it just, I kept as being hungry for it. Well, I'll get this from this book and I'll take this course. But it was not cohesive. I needed a community, which you get in IMU, the best community you ever get. And I also got a way of going deep, deep into myself in a way that I'd never been able to explore, where I was able to meet the wounds of my heart and be accepting of them, even comfortable with them, and enjoy going deep in that way. And now I know how to do it. And anytime anything comes up, I'm able to dive right into the depths of my heart. I use most of the things that I learned throughout my whole daily life. Something comes up, I use the swinging breath all the time. These are things that you'll learn if you sign up. I actually teach the swinging breath to some of my friends. They're like, well, I don't know what to do. I said, well, there's something called the swinging breath. Here's how you do it, And they, I was like, oh, that sounds great, And that's like one of the easiest things, and I just pass it on. I have a job now where I'm in Toastmasters, and there was a speech contest, and they said, would you please sign up to do a speech? And I thought, well, okay, I will, but I'll do a speech about what is heart rhythm meditation. Because I thought this is so important. And I was in 2 different contests where people who probably never heard about heart rhythm meditation were attending. And I talked about the vagal, I talked about some of the sciencey thing, but basically I said, this is the best thing you can ever do for yourself. One of the things that was really important to me that I got was I felt I was loved into discipline of meditating every day. The discipline of meditating every day was something I've struggled with for years, because there's a little girl inside of me that said, I just don't wanna. I don't want to do it now. And finally, through the loving container of the mentor that I had, I was able to not only commit to doing it on the surface, like you say, I'm going to do it, but I actually did it. Every day for 2 years, without fail, I meditated. It was a sacred commitment. And by doing that, I committed to myself in a new way that I'd never done before. And I found that I was able to move through some things that had been blocked for years just because I was actually meditating every day without fail, every day.
Wow.
And that's what IMU gave to me. So I have to say, if there's any way that you can do this, and if you were thinking about it, maybe, kind of, sort of, I'm just telling you, this is absolutely the best thing I've ever done. There you go.
Thank you.
Deborah, you're amazing. Well, see, this course will start from the beginning. And we will start from the beginning, just like I will start to do it now. We actually have in heart rhythm meditation, like all meditation, we have actually a posture. And so we like to sit on a chair in heart rhythm meditation, and usually not laying down in the couch or too soft. It should be more like an upright posture where you have the feet on the ground and you feel your sitting bones in your buttocks, and you have your spine move straight upward while these points of the shoulder, the hips, move down towards through your feet into the ground. So this is a posture that you should be able to hold for as long as you meditate. So these are the instructions, and probably we'll need to try to grow towards that posture as well as towards the breath that we do. But just that you know, so we really start from the beginning. And as I said, there's this posture, and you do it as good as you can. And at one point, you will appreciate the posture in heart rhythm meditation, because the posture holds you through the body and tries to give you stillness from a physical level. And when the body follows your intention, and when the body follows your will, it's the first step to this inner freedom that the posture creates. So eventually you will grow through this, through the different courses that you have in the 21 months that you are in there. And after the posture, what we do is, if you feel comfortable with it, you can close your eyes or you can still keep them open. it is helpful already in the very beginning to put your hand on your heart and see what kind of intention do you have today for your meditation. The intention can rise from your heart or from your mind, but something that can help you to hold you through this little breathing practice that I will guide you through. So listen to your inner voice. What is your intention for this time with your heart and with this little community here? And through this silence that the intention provides for you, you might have become aware that you are breathing. When our eyes are closed, this rhythm of inhalation and exhalation becomes more prevalent. And we call this the conscious breath. We breathe at all times, but now we become aware of that there's an inhalation and an exhalation. And although this breath is very short, very little, the inhalation and exhalation, maybe some of us can feel or sense that they're not exactly the same. And that is what we have developed over a long time, the length of our inhalation and exhalation of the everyday breath. And the next step we use in heart rhythm meditation is that we try to deepen the breath. And we usually start with the exhalation. So next time you come to the exhalation, you try to make this breath fully, deep, and slow. Exhale completely, and then let the inhalation follow. And you will see that your inhalation becomes naturally more deep and full. And the next time you come to the exhalation, you try to engage abdominal muscles, the muscles below your belly button. And in order to exhale more deeply, you squeeze those muscles very tightly, pull them back towards your spine, and see how you can finish the exhalation. And when the inhalation wants to enter, open those abdominal muscles wide. Make a big balloon below your belly button and let the energy and the breath enter in your physical body. And then widen the rib cage. So really make yourself wide and let energy enter. And then when you next time the exhalation comes, you start squeezing those abdominal muscles. By squeezing and expanding the abdominal muscles, we actually inviting the diaphragm muscle, which is on a horizontal level, to move up and down and create space for our lungs. And this deep and slow, full breath has a strong effect on our heart. For some of us, this kind of deep, slow, full breathing brings the heart rhythms to the foreground. But for some of us, the rhythms of the heart need much more time that they become internally audible to us. So not to worry, we all have a heart. And for some of us, we can hear it, We hear the lub-dub of a heart. And for some of us, we just follow the deep, slow, full breath. And in spite of if the heart is audible to us or not, as we know we have a heart, we for sure know we have a pulse. And the pulse can be felt either by putting one hand towards the pulse on the neck, or we can feel the pulse on the wrist of our hand. So with the left hand, you can put your hand on your wrist. And then you feel the internal rhythm of the heart through the pulse, or directly by having your palm on the heart. And for some of us, when we do this practice, when we have come that far, some of us, we feel how the heart gets excited, that we pay attention to it. At least mine did get now very excited. And you can see for how many heartbeats do you inhale and for how many heartbeats do you exhale. So heartbeats or pulses. So thereby, when we do this kind of practice, we align the two basic internal rhythms of our physical body, the rhythm of the heart and the rhythm of the breath. And by aligning those two rhythms, we create a synchronicity where the energy body in our whole system starts to move into the foreground. When you breathe like this for some time, seeing how many heartbeats do I inhale, how many heartbeats do I exhale, and if you are able to consistently repeat like 6 heartbeats inhalation, 6 heartbeats exhalation, there's something deeper happening inside of you. See if that basic rhythm feels attainable for you, and please not judging yourself. Just celebrate whatever is possible for you to do. And in these more deep rhythms, the heart is actually already opened up. No, I'm speaking here about the energetic heart. And the heart always opens when we give the heart energy and attention. We give energy through the breath, and we give attention through our inner sense of aligning the rhythms and observing what is happening inside of myself. The senses turn inward. And you can take a minute just following these internal rhythms and keep the breath moving in this deeper way. And listen to your heart. And if you have a question, put it on your exhalation and see what the answer is in your inhalation. So every time you exhale, have a little question there and repeat the same question every time you exhale. So it could be as we are moving around this question of I am you, you could simply ask, what would be the result if I do this program, this 21 months program? And think that in a shortened way in your exhalation. And when you inhale, see what comes back to you. And you will see that in the beginning, you might get all different kinds of answers or no answers, or it might be difficult to ask the question, to really get connected with the exhalation. So all that happens. But maybe there's a feeling inside of you or a sense where your heart communicates with you. And let's appreciate that with gratitude, whatever the heart brings to us, or whichever way the heart communicates. And when you have the feeling you're done with it, then you stop breathing this way. And before you open up your eyes, you just allow yourself to collect yourself internally and see, what was this experience like? Could I follow those instructions? Was I challenged? Was my mind wandering away? Was I uncomfortable with sitting in this posture? Whatever comes for you, just see it as some kind of feedback internally for your experience. And then you open up your eyes and look around and see that you're in that place where you started off and you visited your inner world. Thank you.
Well, if you have further questions, you can ask the office to get in touch with us.
I would like,
Susanna will be interviewing you for your
interviewing. I will talk with you if you're so inclined. I would like to end this thing with a song in Heart Rhythm Meditation. You know, when I taught weekly classes, I would always say, or I had private clients, you know, in my work, I would always say, when people couldn't meditate, I would say, you know, you could sing, you know, very simple little songs. And they were like, really? Instead of meditation, I could sing? I said, yes, because, you know, singing is just like heart rhythm meditation. Always when you sing, you have a rhythm, and the melody usually uplifts you. And how do you say? So there is rhythm, there is upliftment, and you have to deep breathly deeply when you breathe, right? So the breath is there, the uplifting is there, and the rhythm is there. And that's practically heart rhythm meditation. So I will sing you a little song, and if you want to, you can sing it then with me. The words are, from you I receive, to you I give, and together we share, from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, from this we'll live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, from this we live. Puran, would you want to sing it?
From you, from you I receive, to you I give, together we share, from this we live.
Thank you. You know, and I'm not sure if you know how clients or students are. Then I said a week later, so did you sing your song? And they said, no, I didn't get to my singing. I rather meditate. So let's see what you're going to do. Sing or meditate. Both are very good. Just think about it. Many blessings to you. Many blessings.